Hello, good morning. This is Retro Star with another segment of my video. This is the second half of batch of my games. Right now I have here the famous Double Dragon. Very incredible game, I have to add. This is one of the games that got me into beat 'em up games. I definitely have to say probably the most memorable musical score there is, Double Dragon. This is actually based off of the #1 arcade hit. I played this also in the arcade. I love the arcade game of this. It's not bad, but you know, of course, this is the first one that I played. I played the NES version first, and I have to definitely say this is a very, very memorable yet very, very, what would you say, epic type of beat 'em up game. It's what's got me started into beat 'em up games today. And also made by Trade West. I remember playing with my brother and my sister on the quest during, you know, beating the game and everything. And I remember the infamous part at the end to where you guys go at it head to head, which is to me, a very sad ending. I don't understand why they would end the game like that. With two brothers are supposed to be working as a team to try to save the girl. Instead, they're going head to head to win the girl's heart. And it's like, okay, why end it like that? This is supposed to be a team effort here. The two brothers, I believe, Billy and Jimmy Lee. You guys are supposed to be working together as a team, so I was disappointed about that ending, but still a great and wonderful title this is, and I'm really proud to have it in my collection. Okay, we're gonna move on. Okay, here we go. Here's one that's also pretty good. I wouldn't say that it's better than the first, but this is definitely a decent title. You know what I mean? This is definitely really good, I think. I think the musical score in this one is very, very memorable. Very, very great. Very hard game. I think it was definitely harder than the first. As you can see, we got a different company running this right now. Acclaim. Didn't do a very bad job. I wouldn't say it's a Trade West, but it is still very memorable and still got great and nostalgic music inside of this cartridge. The graphics just seem like it's been beefed up a little bit, which I say is one of the changes on there. The moves you seem to have got better moves It looked like they've been in the gym or something working out, and their moves have definitely got beefed up a little bit. Other than that, I found it very, not too hard to beat, but more difficult than the first. You know what I'm saying? Definitely more difficult than the first. As you can see, this cartridge is very clean, very nice. I bought it in good condition. But, hey, you know, what can I say? Not better than the first, but still one of a nostalgic and memorable title. Great musical score. Great challenge, definitely. And I think it's something you should have in your collection if you are a Double Dragon fan. Alright, we're going to move right along. Here's another title that everybody should know. One of my favorite, Dr. Mario. I have to say, definitely, I wasn't a huge fan of what you call the puzzle games like Tetris and all of that. You know, I like Tetris, you know, but I was not a big puzzle fanatic at all. But when I played this game, for some reason, it is highly addicting and very, very, the music will definitely catch your attention because it's very catchy, and it's definitely has a great musical and memorable musical score in this game. Plus, it's very fun and it challenges you. It definitely challenges you. You know what I'm saying? Above Tetris and everything. Very challenging game this is. And if you ever tried to play the expert part in this game, it is brutal. Brutal. I would definitely have to say, you know, it gave me a run for my money. You know, I'm definitely a good player, and this is definitely gave me a run for my money. If you ever tried the expert mode on this, it'll kick your little ass. Definitely. It will kick your ass. So, but still, great and fun game. Fun puzzle game. Probably one of the most funnest puzzle games I've ever played. And probably the only above the Mean Bean Machine on the Sega Genesis or Columns. You know, I would definitely say this is one that I love and I cherish in my collection. Dr. Mario, I believe, was released in 1990. I remember when it first came out. Alrighty, we can move right along from this. Alright, here we go. Something that everybody recognizes and probably have definitely played. This is DuckTales from our great Capcom, and Disney does it again with this title, DuckTales. I definitely have to say, very memorable title here. I love this game. Besides it being very simple and very easy to beat, I have to say the musical score in this game is one of the best. Of course, Capcom is definitely one of the best Capcom tunes you will ever hear, besides the Mega Man series and Bionic Commando, especially the Moon Stage. Everybody loves the Moon Stage music on this, which is very famous. Besides the very easy story mode and gameplay mechanics, very incredible and fun game. I actually was able to play through this pretty easy as a kid, but I'm still great and honored to have it in my collection, and probably will do a run on this, and maybe a review run or no death run on this, just for fun, because this is one of my favorite games back then. Besides the Mega Man series and the what you call Chippendales Rescue Rangers, this one is pretty decent. This one's definitely good. Okay, DuckTales from Disney's, Disney's DuckTales from Capcom. Let's move on. Okay, here we go. Here's a game that every original gamer should know. Kung Fu, black box title of the Nintendo Entertainment System. Um, Definitely a great and memorable nostalgic game. It's the reason why I picked this up. Very nostalgic. For the simple fact that it is really simple. Pretty simple game. Not difficult in challenge. Not difficult in challenge at all. I would just definitely would have to say that it's pretty easy. You're gonna have some of everything coming at you though. They're gonna be throwing some of everything at you. I'm sorry, I'm being disrupted because my phone is ringing. Sorry about that. But let's get right back to the review. Pretty much a simple gameplay. I don't know what the story is. I think you're trying to save your girlfriend, rescue your girlfriend from evil. Pretty much a pretty simple storyline there. But you're gonna have everything coming at you, from snakes to dragons to like pots and pans, maybe. Families coming at you. I don't know if there's little kids or something that you're trying to jump kick or something like that. But they're gonna be coming at you in every which shape or form, in the front of you, in the back of you, or above you. And the only thing you have to do is just kick the crap out of them, you know. Just kick back, kick front, jump kick, and you'll be fine to get through this title. It's a pretty simple gameplay mechanics in this. I believe it has at least 4 to 5 stages. Not very long, but definitely a simple classic game here. Yeah, that label's a little bit dingy, but it's okay. But as you can see, it is the action series. Well, we've seen these little things on our black box back in the day. Probably some of the earlier titles that came out launched with the system. As you can see, it was 1984, so it's definitely a classic. Okay, Kung Fu. If you don't have this in your collection, go get it. It's this very priceless relic, so go grab it. Okay, here's another great title here. The Karate Kid. We all know the Karate Kid from the infamous Karate Kid movie. Definitely a fan of the movie. The movie was great. This was not a bad game. I'm not the fan of movie-based games, but this one actually was pretty decent. It wasn't bad at all. You know what I'm saying? It's actually pretty fun. Definitely addicting, and it's a great, a little beat 'em up, I would definitely say. Danielson was definitely more badass in the game than he was in the movie. Sorry, Ralph Macchio, whatever his name is. But he was definitely a little more badass in the game. Sorry, but anyways, great title. I don't know if I ever finished this game. I don't think I did, but I've got pretty far in the game. I believe I got to the final stage. Never did take out the last boss, but definitely pretty fun based on scenes of the inside of the movie. Like they have the second board to where you're in the storm, just like on the second movie, where you're in the middle of a storm and debris is blowing at you in sticks, and of course you have to hit them, kind of like a kung fu style, to where you got to hit sticks and objects flying at you. But actually pretty good. I don't know this company here. It's called LGN, with a little cute little rainbow there. Yeah, this is actually one of the first of many games I saw from that company. But decent game, and definitely a great game to own if you've played it back then. All right, let's move right along. Alright, here's a great title. My bad, take that back. I'm not gonna be too brutal about this game. I definitely have to say it's nostalgic because, you know, of course it appeared in the game, in the movie, the famous movie The Wizard, you know, and during that time in 1989, it was that beautiful arcade game was out, where you can play 4 turtles, pretty much. I was like really knee deep into that game, and I was definitely loving and enjoying that game. So when this came out, I was kind of looking forward to it being sort of like that game. I guess, what was I thinking? You know, an NES title is not going to ever compare to the superior graphics of the arcade, but it can come close. And boy, was I wrong about that. This is not bad. I mean, there's certain people that like this, but it wasn't my favorite because it just didn't come close to the arcade game to me. It was just a normal platformer, to where you jump on platforms. And they also had characters in this game that didn't really appear in the cartoon, and it was just a little off to me. Now, one thing I would say that's good about this game is the musical score. It has a beautiful musical score, definitely. The musical score is gorgeous. It's I love the boss theme. I love the above ground theme before you get into the sewer theme. And even the battle theme is okay. But those two are even the title screen theme was great. This has great music. I'm not going to even lie, but I didn't like the game too much. The game was a little not too hard. You know, it had little places in it that was really brutal, like when you're under the water and the seaweed keeps electrocuting you and shit. But other than that, the music is definitely music to hear to your ears, and I think that's probably the best thing about this. But I wasn't a fan of this. I was a huge fan of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I gave it a try, I gave it a go, but it just wasn't impressed. But still nostalgic, and I had to pick it up because it was nostalgic. And it definitely is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and I would like to collect all of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle games in my collection. So I had to pick this up. You know, I couldn't bypass it. But anyways, this game is by Ultra Games, and as you can hear, the music from this game is very Konami-ish. Very Konami-ish. I definitely say, even with Metal Gear, it just sounds Konami-ish. You know, Ultra and Konami working together and everything. I think that's a pretty cool team. Especially, could be the reason why the musical score in this game is awesome. But other than that, still nostalgic. I had to get it. And I think you should get it if you're a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle fan. Get it, have it in your collection, have all of them in your collection. Alright, moving right along. Okay, now here's a title that we all recognize. Another Capcom joint, Section Z. Section Z was also an arcade game in the arcade. I don't think I've ever got into the arcade version of Section Z. But I love the Section Z cartridge, one of the earlier titles that I've played. And as you can see, the design on this is kind of similar to that awful Mega Man design, and also similar to Trojan background, and it's definitely a sign that it is an early Capcom release. But I have to definitely tell you, this soundtrack on this game is pretty surprising and pretty funky, especially the first stage. The first stage is very memorable and very nostalgic and funky as it is. Very challenging title this is. Very challenging. I did finish it, but you know what? This game will kick your little ass. It will kick your ass. This was a very tough shooter game, but very fun shooter game. Sort of reminds me of Abadox. if you ever play Abadox, Milton Bradley's Abadox, you can definitely see the resemblance of the two. But I think Abadox is probably way more brutal than Section Z. That game is fucking tough. Very, very brutal. Kick your ass all over the place. But this game was tough. I was able to play through it. But I definitely have to say, definitely made by made by my favorite Capcom company. Of course, this is the reason why the musical score is so hard, and it seriously go hard in this game. So, Section Z should definitely be one to own. Nice and clean background there. I love that. One to own in your collection. If you don't have it, go get it. Alright, let's move on. Okay, here we go. Here's a title that was very weird title. This is Max from FCI. The first time I've ever pulled out an FCI title. Max was a weird one. Okay, I definitely say I rented this game when I first played it from the video store called Rent a Movie, and I guess I looked just like misled by the awesome kind of generic box art there. I'm thinking I'm going to be this awesome cyber machine battling bad guys and stuff like that in outer space. But you know what? It's kind of misleading once you put the game inside of the console. Okay, let's just say the music in this game is very catchy. I love the music in this game. For the simple fact that there's only two different tunes in this game. You hear one tune, and the underground tune seems like the only thing that you hear. So, and it's like after hearing an hour of that music, which you hear the above ground even more, it just starts to get on your nerves a little bit, even though it's really, really memorable and catchy. And that's not the worst of it. The game is just pretty repetitive. All you do is you're this huge robot. You have to collect certain parts of the body. You start out at this little ship. Looks like a little, a normal ship. Then you collect the top half of your body. Then you collect the bottom half of your body. And I can't say that once you collect the entire body part, is it going to do you any good? Pretty much, when you do collect the body parts, it tends to slow you down like really heavy, and it's kind of hard to even maneuver over all of the bullets that's flying at you, the millions and millions of bullets that's flying at you. It's going to be hard to maneuver over all of those bullets when your robot moves a little too slow. So usually what I do is I'd rather just take the top half, because without the bottom half, you move a little bit faster and you're able to move around the bullets. Millions and millions of bullets that's going to be flying at you the more that you proceed in this game. So I don't bother. Sometimes I just don't bother, try to collect the bottom. I'll try to get the top half to become more powerful at least. And the bosses are the same over and over and over and over again. The same. I don't know when this game ends. I think I played this a little while. I tried to tolerate this game a little while when I was a kid. And soon, I just began to get really bored. It's just very repetitive. I think my complaint about this is it's heavily repetitive. The scenes barely change. The backgrounds only change different colors. It doesn't, you know what I'm saying, every now and then. But you seem to fight the same bosses over and over again. I don't know when this ends. But all I got to say, as a kid, I played it pretty long time. And it didn't seem to change much at all. Not at all. So, I would definitely have to say, get this game for nostalgic sake and maybe for the memorable music. But I would definitely have to say this is not my favorite title. Was not a fan of this. And I really, actually, as a kid, I hated this. I really hated it. So once I was done playing it, never played it again. Never even tried to beat it. I just thought the game was quite punishing. Alright, let's move along. Okay, this is a game that everybody recognizes. Yes, the great and the wonderful Ninja Gaiden from Tecmo. It's a lot to say about Ninja Gaiden. This is the one. Remember when I first played this game? This game is just incredible. I was just blown away by the musical score in this game. This has got some of the best music you will ever hear on an NES game, period. The best. I definitely have to say, if you ever hear the tunes in this, it will definitely blow you away. Definitely. The boss fights are awesome in this game. I mean, the music during the boss fights are totally awesome. But I just have to say, warning you, the musical score in this game is very, 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 very brutal. Very brutal in this game. Very, very brutal in this game. Besides that, great game, memorable game. I was definitely one of the lucky ones. Out of hearing many complaints by other people and other gamers, I was actually lucky enough to be one of them to be able to play through this. I've actually played through this game. I can't say that I spent hours and hours and hours sitting in front of my TV trying to play this game, trying to beat this game. I've gotten frustrated with a lot of things about this game. Like at the end, when you die, let's say the boss, the ending boss, I don't want to spoil it for people that has not conquered this game, but the end boss has like 3 parts to it. Okay, you got one part that you have to beat, yet the second part that you have to beat, and then you have to beat the third and final part. And then you have to figure out where his weak spot is, and you got to figure out, okay, how to beat him. That's how I actually managed to beat him. I found out what his weak spot and where his weak spot was. And once I found that out, even though I was, it took at least maybe 3 or 4 tries to even get it, at the boss. After being set back to 6-1, which is probably the most annoying part of this game, to where you get far, you die, and then they put you all the way back to 6-1, and you got to go through all that again to get to the last boss. So, as frustrating as that shit was, I did it, and I came out on top eventually. After losing like half of my hair, and even my voice started to tense up and hoarse up from yelling and screaming at the screen, I still ended up victorious. And I had to take a break from my NES for a couple of days to sort of recuperate from all of the abuse that I sustained from this damn game. But I definitely have to say it's nostalgic. Some of the best music you'll ever hear in an NES game. Some of the best scenes, and this is one of the first games that has the cinematic theme to it. One of the first games I've seen with the cinematics, and I was blown away. Blown away. So you cannot say this was not a memorable title. It's memorable for its difficulty. It's memorable for being the first NES game to have a cinematic display in it, and just memorable tunes. Cannot go wrong with that. One of the best games of all time. My all-time favorite, Ninja Gaiden. Let's move along. Well, you can't have You can't have Ninja Gaiden 1 without having Ninja Gaiden 2. While not being as great as the first, I would definitely have to say it's still a different, definitely a great title. Great, awesome musical score. They was up on the music. They kept the music theme up. I would definitely say great game. Still a great game. Not as hard to me, easier than the first. I was able to play through this really easily, you know, after sustaining the abuse from the first game. I love this art. I love that the art on this. Look at that. That is badass. Look at that. Mr. Hayabusa is just definitely looking kind of intimidating there. You know, I would not mess with him. You know, if I seen something like that, I wouldn't mess with him. He's looking really good there. I love this picture. I love this this art here with the huge dragon in the back. It's incredible. I love it. And my cartridge here is this pretty clean. I'm happy with that. Tecmo. At least this game was created by the same company that created the original. At least that's good to hear. Because I think they would have ended up fucking this game up even worse. But not saying that this game is fucked up. This game is great. This game is definitely great. If you see the title there, Ninja Gaiden 2, The Dark Sword of Chaos. Great game. I love the music in this game. Very memorable, very nostalgic, and just all out great series. I don't have 3 yet. I am actually looking for Ninja Gaiden 3 now, and I definitely want to add this to my collection. You know, I got 1 and 2. I want to add this on, but 3 is definitely tougher than the first and the second. And I guess once I do obtain that game, I will do an update, and I will be able to do a review on that as well. Alright, let's move on. Alright, here we go. This is Low G Man. I don't know if many of you people heard of this game. It's by Taxon. I know a lot of you have heard of Taxon before. And it includes a password feature. Wow, incredible. Gotta have a game that has the password feature in it, don't you think? I think so too. Low G Man, I think this is a good title. I played this game back in 1990, and I have to say, it kind of reminds me, it's got like a Castlevania feel to it. The way the guy kind of walks, he kind of walks like Simon Belmont. He walks a little bit faster than Simon Belmont, but it just has a sort of has a Castlevania feel to it. Not with the music, but just with the player and the stroll of the game. It just seems very, very Castlevania-ish, if you can, yeah, had trouble pronouncing that. But this is not a bad game. I actually love this game. I actually think this game is incredible. If you ever go through your local retro store, pick it up. I mean, I think it's a very, very good game. Very fun game. You go around, you have like 2 weapons on you. You have your spear, sort of a spear-like type of deal. And you also have your gun. You have a spear and a gun. You can get certain power-ups that can enable you to jump up in the air very high. I guess that's the reason why they called him Low G Man, because Low G Man stands for Low Gravity Man. That means that this guy is pretty much airborne, which in the game, I'm going to tell you, he's not really airborne until you get that power-up, and you'll be able to jump like way up into the screen, which is the fun part. But only when you get that power up. He doesn't do that all through the game. So let's not get it twisted. This game is actually 5 stages long. The challenge in this game is pretty, I think it's pretty brutal. I think it's a pretty difficult game. I was able to play through this. Game, but it's definitely challenging, especially the boss at the end. The boss at the end wasn't really all that challenging, but as you're getting there to the boss, it's very challenging. Musical score of this game is out of this world. Love the musical score, especially the musical score on the first stage. And the first stage, the fourth stage, the last stage, and even the boss fights have memorable, very, very memorable tunes. So, you know what? I think that anybody who's never played this game, it was released in the early 90s, I believe in 1990. It's still a great title. It should cost you no more than like $2. Either on eBay or your local retro store or flea market or whatever. It's probably $1 at the flea market, but I think it's worth the money, so go pick it up. It's definitely a good title. Okay, here's a game here, a Capcom joint. As you can see, Dream Masters. I definitely have to say, very memorable as a kid. I remember playing this game. I rented this game at a local rental store, and I saw any game that's Capcom, I definitely picked up and, brought home with me to play. This game is pretty decent. Even though I did not finish this game, I really didn't. I didn't, because of the lengthiness of it, I was only rented this for like 3 days. So I wasn't able to finish this game because, of course, I had to return it back to the store. But still, this is a great game, and I will definitely review the part that I did play. I remember a stage, I believe, maybe third, fourth stage, I believe. It's a stage called, one of the stage I remember is called Topsy Turvy, where everything in the stage Topsy Turvy was upside down, and you had to travel through a world that was like upside down. And I thought that was pretty cool feature in this game. It's actually pretty cool. You get a chance to, it's got like a Super Mario Brothers feel to it, to where you can jump on like different animals. You can jump on a cricket, you can jump on a frog. You can actually, become different animals and stuff in this game. Either become them, or you can jump on them and ride on them, if I remember correctly. I think this is a pretty decent title, so if you have not ever played this game, I think you should check it out and have this in your collection. And it should be in your collection anyway, because it is from Capcom. It's called Little Nemo, the Dream Master. Hey, go and get it. Go and pick it up at your local retro store. You'll not be disappointed. Great musical score in this game. Great musical score, I'd say. Not very challenging, it's just more of a, kind of like more of a lengthy RPG feel to it, but great game. I would recommend it. Okay, let's move on. Now the game here, I think everybody knows what this is. Yes, Mega Man 2. Need I say more? Mega Man 2. I love infinity this game. To me, Mega Man 2 is the best of the best in the entire Mega Man series. I mean, a lot of people can argue with me, but this right here, to me, was my favorite. It was my very first Mega Man. I don't know if it's because it's the very first Mega Man I played. I actually played Mega Man before I played Mega Man 1. This was the very first Mega Man I played ever. And I got to tell you, lots of great memories with this. This is actually my original copy here. I did not get this copy from any retro store. Well, I got this from, I believe back in the days when I was a kid, I was actually able to find this at a thrift store or whatnot. A friend of mine owned. And she actually didn't want the game anymore. And I told her, I love this game. Can I have it? She said, yes, you can have it, but, give me $2 for it. $2 for Mega Man back in the days. I mean, wow. How can I pass that up? Can't pass up Mega Man 2. So this is actually my original copy for when I was a kid. I kept it all of these years. Who would ever get rid of Mega Man 2? Whoever would ever get rid of this game is a total idiot. Okay, let's go on with the review. This being my first Mega Man ever playing. As you can see, as you can know, the musical score, totally awesome. Oh my god, it's just so much to say about this game. Oh man, I spent so many days and nights playing this game. My favorite of the series. As you can see, it's pretty clean on the back, besides the stupid ass JD. Just great probably one of the best Capcom games and memorable Capcom games of all fucking time. I love the series. But this is my favorite of the series. My favorite tune in this game would have to be Quick Man, and it would definitely have to be Metal Man and Crash Man stages. I do like the Dr. Wily stages music in this. I do love that. But, definitely those were my favorite tunes in this game. The entire game has incredible music score through the entire game. You cannot go wrong with Mega Man 2. One of my favorite games of all time. Mega Man 2 from Capcom. You can't go wrong with Mega Man 2. It is the best of the best. Love Mega Man 2 and very proud to have this in my collection for all these years. I think I do have Mega Man 3, Mega Man 4. I want to get the entire collection, Mega Man collection, in my collection. I'm on a quest to collect every Mega Man game there is. Definitely the original series. I want to collect the original series and the X series as well. But the original series is definitely have to be a must-have because the original series to me was the best. And I got to have the original series in my collection. But actually, I have one of the best here with me now, and that's Mega Man 2. Alright, let's move on. Another great title here. Can we even go wrong with Super Mario Bros. 3? I guess I have to take a drink. I got some juice here. I think I'm going to take a swig of my juice before I get into this game. Goodness, sorry. There's so many good titles here. I'm just running out of breath. There's just so much to say about these titles. And Super Mario Bros. 3, it's got to be the best, one of the best games on the NES, period. And it's my favorite of the Super Mario Bros. Series of all time. Super Mario Bros. 3 was more memorable. And I guess we have the Wizard to thank for that. First off, we're going to always think of the Wizard when we think of Super Mario Bros. 3 because the Wizard was pretty much an advertisement of that game and a couple other Nintendo products. You know what I'm saying? I just remember the hype around this game when it came out. The hype was just like absolutely out of this world. This was got to be the hardest game. Probably the best-selling game of all time. This has got to be in that arena. Probably in the top 3. Got to be in the top 3 of being the best sold of all time. Super Mario Bros. 3. This title was impossible to find. I remember I got lucky enough to find Super Mario Bros. 3 and actually bought it as a gift for my boyfriend like a dumbass. I should have bought it for myself. I'm sorry, I know I'm being a little selfish there. But you know what? Back in the day, Super Mario Bros. 3, why would you buy it for someone else? Any gamer would want to have this game for themselves. But you know what? I was the good girlfriend. I bought this game brand new in the box for my boyfriend at the time. And I put it in a stocking for him. And on Christmas Day, he had a brand new game cartridge that's this awesome waiting for him. But you know what? It's also the same year that I got my Sega Genesis. So I did, you know what? It wasn't a big deal to me because I had my Sega Genesis with my Altered Beast. Oh well, you know, I definitely have to borrow it a couple times and, you know, play it. And that I did. I ended up borrowing the game from him, and I kept it for a while. And I ended up, you know, beating it maybe 50 million times. I beat this game so many times. And it was just so many incredible memories with Super Mario Bros. 3. I actually got fortunate and found this game at a garage sale right around the corner from my house for $4. If you ever go in any retro store to try to find this game, you will be paying close to 20 and 30 bucks, maybe 40 bucks for this game. And I was actually lucky enough to find it for $4 at a garage sale. When I seen it, I gotta have that. Yes, and it came with the sleeve as well. Actually came with the great Nintendo sleeve as well with it. Well, I was able to get this great game for $4. Alrighty, but anyways, as I move right along to another cartridge, this is my favorite game of the series. It's just awesome. I mean, and it's incredible. Definitely going to do a no-death run in this. I'm going to do a speed run, not no-death run, speed run in this game to honor a tribute to it, and for the simple fact that it's just my favorite Super Mario of the series. I actually watched the cartoon back in the day. I actually watched The Wizard, and everybody knows the famous flute code and everything, where you can travel to different warp zones and enter different worlds. Everybody knows that. Other than that, incredible title. There's nothing else said about Super Mario Bros. 3. Alright, let's move on. Alright, here's another great title here. This is Blaster Master. I would definitely have to say when I first seen this, it was a little misleading. This little box art really wasn't telling me much about the series. I'm like, what the hell is this? It doesn't even have the guy that you play. Forgot his name. It doesn't even have the main character on the front of the cover. That little thing there, spoiler alert, guys, is the boss, the second to the last boss that you fight at the end. Why would you put the last boss or the second to the last boss on the front cover? Talking about a spoiler. I mean, it's like we don't want to know what the second to the last boss looked like. It doesn't catch your eye when you go to the store and you're looking for a great game to bring home. You're not gonna pick this. Just look at it. It's terrible. But I have to definitely tell you, I was definitely wrong when I brought this home. Boy, was I wrong. Incredible game. My friend Corey, if you're out there, how you doing? Haven't seen you in 20 years. Corey Beyond, how you doing? My friend Corey bought this game over to my house, and I was like, I've seen this before. I've seen this at the store. I was actually wanting to buy this, but I couldn't tell what the game was about by looking at the cover. So we popped the game in, played it. I was blown away by this game. I was like, wow, I was totally wrong about this game, and when I had the chance, I should have bought this game home. Incredible musical score in this game. Incredible. The graphics is definitely incredible. I believe there's 8 stages in this game. 8 stages. Pretty lengthy title. It's got a arcade. I mean, not arcade. I'm sorry. Yes, arcade too. But it's got sort of a RPG feel to it. It's like you go around, you roam around the different stages. You can go backwards. You can even follow up on previous stages to get power-ups and to get different things to also proceed to another stage. So it's kind of got a RPG feel to it, definitely. But it's got an incredible musical score. It's not too challenging. The only thing I would definitely say it's a lengthy title. It's got 8 stages of wonderful, great boss battles. I mean, some of the best boss battles that you would ever experience in the game. The music that you do it to is incredible, incredible. But you know, this is the very first Sunsoft game that I played, and the first of many Sunsoft games that has incredible music score and just an incredible game. Fester's Quest being another title that's Sunsoft that has incredible music score, and of course, lots of other games. Gremlins 2, which is from Sunsoft, and still incredible music score, great boss fights. So they're actually known for great musical scores. I wouldn't say they are Konami or Capcom, but you know what? The musical score they definitely fall in the top 3, I think. So you know what? People that's never played this game, go out and get it. You would not be disappointed. I actually did end up, as a kid, buying this game, playing it, actually finishing this game. It's just incredible. It's got like a simple but weird storyline to this. I guess you're out to save your pet frog or something like that. I haven't played this in a long time. I'm going to do a run on this probably later on. Once I get my studio and everything set up completely. But I think that all of a sudden, you just suddenly find this helmet and this awesome car after falling into a bottomless, or seem like a bottomless pit. And where you're going chasing after your pet frog, and all of a sudden you find these a helmet and a truck, a nice little truck, and you go out on a quest to save your infamous pet frog. Aww. I guess that's the sum up to it, but regardless of how weird the storyline is, still an incredible game. Go pick it up. Alright, let's move on. Alright, here we go. Here's another game. Xanadu. I'm sure a lot of you have know this game, and a lot of people's played this game. Xanadu is not bad. I played it briefly as a kid. I went and rented this game from the video store, Video View, I believe, and just great game. I would definitely say I didn't really get knee-deep into it. I don't even think I finished this game, but it was still a decent game, still a great RPG game. Like I said before, I don't know what the hell that is. Somebody shoot. Is that covering a bullet hole or something? What the hell is that? Oh, whatever. But anyways, back to the review. Great game. I don't think I've ever finished Xanadu, but I definitely played through most of it. Incredible music score, incredible graphics. Just definitely a game that gets you attached. That'll really definitely would get you attached, and you will play this night and day. You know, it's okay. Great game. But you know, if you don't have this game, actually, this was a gift. May I mention? This is a gift from me to my boyfriend, Rudy Chavez. Hi, sweetheart, if you're out there. Rudy Chavez. When I was in Los Angeles, I got this game. I had to have it. There was actually a little game store they had over there. I said, you know what? I don't have Xanadu. I think I'll pick that up and have it in my collection. I still don't think this is better than Legend of Zelda series, but it was still memorable and nostalgic, and I had to pick it up and have it in my collection. So if you don't have it, get it. Alright, let's move on. Alright, here we go. I know a lot of people recognize this gem here. This is definitely a gem. Oh my goodness. Let me get another drink here. A lot to say about this. This is a great title. An awesome, awesome title. This is actually one of your black box titles with the little symbol on the front. As you can see, it's an adventure series, and this is an original black box title. One of the earlier titles released, probably released either 1986 or 1987. I believe it's 1986 that this was released, a year after the NES was released in 1985. This is actually one of your launch titles, I would definitely say. But I have to say, when I first played this game, I was blown away. I absolutely adored this game. I don't know why. It's just incredible. If you've ever played Kid Icarus, the musical score in this game is absolutely incredible. Got a pretty simple storyline, sort of like a Greek mythology type of deal here. If you love Greek mythology, this is the game for you. I believe the infamous enemy that you have to take out is Medusa herself, with her snake hair. Just great, incredible title. You are the name of the guy that you play. His name is not a Kid Icarus, it's Pit. He is the infamous Pit. And you, of course, you're traveling through underworlds and sky stages to meet and beat the incredible Medusa. Just great game. I recently purchased the game for the 3DS and finished Kid Icarus Uprising. It's pretty great. I have to tell you, if you have a 3DS and you don't know what game to buy, get Kid Icarus Uprising. That's probably going to be one of the best games you play on the 3DS, period. And so far for me, Kid Icarus Uprising is the best on the 3DS. So pick it up. But actually, the interesting part of the story about Kid Icarus is this game was the only game released for Kid Icarus back in the 80s. Okay, this was released in 1986. I don't think it was released in 87. I think it was 86 this was released. The game did not get a sequel. The game did not get... There was nothing after the even mention of this game. After this game was released, you never heard from Kid Icarus for over 25 years. 25 years. No sequel. Not even a spin-off of this game. Nothing. Pit just pretty much died out. You know what I'm saying? That's probably a lot of people that don't even know about Kid Icarus, you know? And I feel sorry if you don't. But Kid Icarus for me was incredible. I fell in love with this game. But this game, even back then, was very hard to find. And when you did find this game back then, it was very expensive. I don't know if it's just because maybe there was only so many Kid Icarus games cartridges that they made. But back then, I never seen this game in stores. Never. I think I seen it in a store, in a Sears one time. Once. You go to a video game store, you don't see Kid Icarus. I've only seen it in one store in that Sears. And it was like almost $100 to buy the game. And my mom was like, no, you gotta get something cheaper than that. So I'm like, so I didn't get a chance to own this gem. I actually had a friend by the name of Tamara. Tamara, if you're out there, hello, Tamara Barbette. I actually borrowed the game from her. I think the game belonged to her brother Carlos. So actually was the first time I got a chance to play that game, and I actually ended up I ended up finishing this game. It had an infamous, not an infamous, but it had a famous code that you put in that will get you unlimited, I believe, unlimited firepower, unlimited arrows, unlimited life. And if you're out there, if you've never played Kid Icarus, here's the code. It's called Kid Icarus Fights Medusa Angels. You put in that code. I think you start at the it puts you right at the castle. I believe the second castle. And you got infinite arrows and you have infinite life. That means that it's pretty much, you pretty much don't die. You know what I'm saying? If you do die, then you pretty much suck if you die. But they pretty much give you infinite life and firepower in the game. So if you heard me right, the code is what did I just say? It is Icarus Fights Medusa Angels. Put that code in and play the game and finish it if you want to. If you don't want to go through the entire game, put that code in and you should be able to finish the game from there. Should be pretty easy for you. You're gonna need it once you get to the sky stage, where you battle Medusa. You're definitely going to need that code. So put it in if you wanna complete Kid Icarus. Alrighty. Wow. What else to say about this game? I love it. This was actually, I would definitely love to mention, this was actually a gift from my boyfriend again. Thank you, Rudy Chavez, for giving me this gem. I've been looking for this game for so long. Hadn't been able to find this game anywhere. That's how rare it is. And he happens to go to a garage sale and found this game for me. You know, I say, you know what? I told Rudy, if you find Kid Icarus, please, I beg you, get the game for me. Please get this game for me. You know, pick it up if you find it, because I could never find this game. The only way I could find it was to get it on eBay. And you know, eBay being pretty pricey, I didn't want to pay too much for it. But he got it for me at a cheap price and surprised me with it and sent it to me. So, sweetheart, thank you for giving me this awesome and nostalgic gem that I now own, that I didn't own as a kid and wanted to, and now I own it. So thank you. Kid Icarus, one of my most favorite Nintendo titles of all time. Besides Super Mario, Kid Icarus is one of my favorites of all time. Alrighty, let's move on. Wow, it just keeps getting better, doesn't it? What can I say? It just keeps getting better. Everybody knows about this great game called Contra. Okay, let me get a drink here. Oh my goodness. Oh wow. Oh, so many memories. So many memories to this game. It's so unreal. I absolutely, definitely say after Super Mario Bros. Is the second game that I've actually beat besides Super Mario Bros. And I definitely have to say, this game is the best of the best of the best on the NES. Blown away when I played this game for the very first time. I borrowed it from my cousin. Oh my God, it was just, me and my sister and my brother used to fucking kill this game. Night and day. It was in the beginning it kicked our ass a little bit before we knew about the infamous up, up, down, down, left, right, BA start. Select start for 2 players. Before we found out that code, this game kicked our ass left and right. I think without the code back then, I probably was able to reach the, I was able to reach stage 6. No, actually, I'm sorry, stage 5. Stage 6 without the 30 men. I wasn't able to get beyond that for some reason. I wasn't able to finish this game beyond stage 6. Once I got to stage 6, I pretty much used up all my men by the time I got there. But you know what? Once we figured out and got that infamous code to this game, I was ecstatically excited. I'm like, wow. But I remember when I first got the code, it took several tries for me to get it down pat. But once I got it down pat, oh happy day. I was like, wow. Once I cracked the code the first time, I yelled all over the house and screamed all over the house. I did the code. I remember seeing my brother and my sister racing to the controller so that they can get the second part. I remember them racing to the controller so that they could get the second controller to play, so that they can play with me in the game. I remember my brother getting into it before my sister did. So me and my brother actually played through this infamous game for the very first time. We played through it, and actually, this was the very first time that I beat it. The very, 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 very first time that I beat the game. Just great times with this game here. After beating it, I was very excited. Very, very, very. After I did that, I never tried to do this game. Tried to finish this game with no death. I never tried that as a kid. I just recently, I believe, last year, sometime, I just recently tried to go in raw, and I did actually do a no death in this game. It's actually pretty nice looking in the back. I did a no death in this game last year, along with the second game. And I have to say, I was pretty honored to be able to finish this game for the first time without putting in the 30 men. A very, very, very challenging thing to do, because, you know, Contra was always known for its brutal and difficult gameplay and game period. And of course, we all know that the great and wonderful Konami was the one that made this great and incredible game here, along with all of our great memories. So, not too much to say about this incredible music score, the best music score that you would ever have in an NES game, the best of the best that you will ever hear in a game, period. Great. Multiple levels, 8 levels, I believe. 8 levels of nostalgic and awesome action gameplay, shoot 'em up. Probably the most memorable and best, one of the best shoot 'em ups of all time. Yes, I said it. One of the best shoot 'em ups of all time. This is where I got started becoming a hardcore gamer. This is what got me started here. This game was the one. Definitely, I mean, if you don't own this in your collection, you have to own Contra in your collection. Seriously, you have to have it. I think that's upside down. Just a great game. The design on this game is awesome. The graphics is awesome. Great music. Oh my goodness, what else can I say about this game? Just one of my favorite games of all time. Contra. Can't go wrong with it. Pick it up. If you don't have it, I suggest you go and get this bad boy now. Love this game. Love it. Alright, let's move on. Alright, here we go. How can you have Contra without having Contra 2? This is Super C, the follow-up of the infamous Contra. I definitely say. Definitely harder. I think this game is actually harder than the first. Better than the first. I definitely think it won the crown of being better than the first, the original game. They actually improved on the music. Great musical score. The musical score is even better in this game than it was in the first game. Just awesome. I mean, what else can I say? This game is just as awesome as the first. I also did a no-death run in this game. In, I believe, this last summer. I was able to accomplish that in this game. And definitely proud to have done so, because, Contra is always known for its difficulty. Look at how clean that is. That's wonderful. Just clean cart here that I picked this up. Actually, another game that... another title that was bought by, it was a gift to me from my boyfriend. Thank you, sweetie. Definitely, But what I have to say about this is this has also has 8 levels. To me, the bosses are a little more toned down than the first game. I think the bosses in the first game was probably tougher than the bosses in this game. The only thing I have to complain about the second one is the bosses. The boss fights are great. I love the boss fights. The music that they gave it to, they gave you to battle the bosses. But to me, the bosses are a little easier in this game, especially the last boss was pretty sad. I don't know if anybody has seen my no death run. I pretty much took the last boss out in just a couple seconds of playing it. It's just no excuse for making the last boss that sorry. I mean, come on, we could have done better than that. If you've seen the last boss in this cartridge, if you've seen the last boss in that one, you definitely say, hey, you know what, the last boss in this one definitely kicked my ass. It took a couple tries for me to be able to beat this without no death because of that last boss. Those little aliens running at you randomly. So I would definitely have to say from the first game, let's say the boss fights, the bosses were toned down, but still incredible challenge. It's still a challenging game, nonetheless, and still overall great and memorable title. I remember that I rented this game from the store, and I actually ended up renting this game 2 and 3 times before I actually became an owner of this wonderful, wonderful title. I remember my mom had picked me up from school one day early and said, hey, you know what? It's a Friday. Came and picked me up, took me to Kmart. Yes, Kmart. And I believe I saw this game on sale for like $34. And I said, Mom, look, it's on sale for $34. So she picked me up from school early on a Friday. And we went to Kmart and bought this game. I was so happy. My brother and my sisters were in school. I was the only one home while everybody else was in school playing this game. Yes. Thanks, Mom. Thank you. She'd made me a very happy kid back then. And I remember my brother coming home getting excited. Wow, you got Contra too? And I remember us running to the TV. After I picked my brother up from school, I walked to pick my brother up from school every day. Running to the TV, grabbing the controllers, get ready to play this game. And we duked it out the whole entire weekend. I think my brother forgot about everything else, and we just played this game on a Friday afternoon, got up Saturday morning, watched Saturday morning cartoons, and following watching the cartoons, put this game on after all the cartoons were going. After we watched Captain N and all the great cartoons we watched on Saturday morning. Just great times, just memorable. I believe this game was released in 1990. 1990 being one of the most memorable and probably the best years of my life. Oh my goodness, it's a great year, definitely. And closed out in 1990 getting my Sega Genesis for Christmas. You cannot, it doesn't get any better than that. Doesn't get any better than that at all. It's just great. So, just great times. And I would definitely have to say having this game in my collection brings back all of those great memories. Yes. Alright, let's move along. One of the best series of all time. Super Contra from Konami. Gotta have it in your collection. Okay, this is gonna be the final game of this segment of my video. You gotta tune in for part 3. So I could do, I got 2 batch of games here, of barrels of games. And I'm gonna start on the on the next barrel of games on probably the right side of it. Okay, now let's go into this game here. No, a lot of you people know and love this game here. It is Batman the video game. What can I say? The movie was great. I'm a huge fan of the movie. And you know what I'm saying? It's great to be able to have a game to go with the movie that you love. And this game is actually kick-ass. Probably one of the best of Sunsoft there is, besides Blaster Master, Fester's Quest, and Gremlins 2. This was, as you can see, it's from Sunsoft. Great Sunsoft there. That's the label, looks a little scratched. Apologize for that. But I have to tell you, the music in this game is probably the kick-ass that you would ever hear. Great musical score. I would definitely say this game is highly difficult. This game I thought was hard. Even though I finished it, I thought this game was very, very hard. You know, I thought this was a lot of kick-assery in this. It would, because it would definitely kick your ass, but it's very, very fun. I definitely want to do a no-death run in this. I want to. Once I get things set up in my studio and everything, we're going to do a no-death run, maybe a commentary no-death run of a Batman the video game. Can't go wrong with this game. Just great, nostalgic music, incredible graphics. How many stages? I don't remember how many stages this has. I don't remember, I believe 6 or 7. Quite a bit, I think. I remember. But just a great and incredible and nostalgic title here. Just great and nostalgic. As you can see, the back is very clean. Very fortunate to have this. I think I picked this up at Play and Trade back in the days. I've had this a while. Just great and memorable times. Yeah, Batman. Alright, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, that will do it for this part 2. Definitely stay tuned for part 3 of my video, where I can show the other batch of games I have in the barrel, and more infamous, more famous and great titles that I have in my collection. I collect nothing but the best in my collection. So I definitely would have to say farewell for now. And we'll end this with a very great Batman the video game. And you know what? If you don't have this game, pick it up in your collection. Alrighty, but that's just gonna do it for this segment. Stay tuned for part 3. Keep it retro, guys. Happy gaming, and I will see you in a bit. Thank you very much.